Hey guys, what up? It's your boy Langa here, and this is the first video in a little series that I'll be working on of learning how to design a website using a framework. And even though I do have a bit of a background with CSS, HTML, and a bit of JavaScript, part of the reason why I actually want to start this whole series is so that I can actually learn a bit more in terms of the terminology around some of the wording around things, and also improve on finding easier ways to create websites and safer ways to design things as well. So more efficient ways to do things as well. And I also hope to pick up a few new skills as well during this whole process, gain a bit of clarity on how this whole process works, and yeah, hopefully I can learn a bit more about front-end development throughout this whole process. So the way that this series of videos is gonna flow, I'm gonna start by picking a framework. I'll dig into a few tutorials and videos about that particular framework. I might split up some of these tutorials into separate videos. I will just be working through that whole process, so I'll try to include links as I go along of some of the stuff that I'm following up on, and the reasons why I make certain decisions along the whole process. And yeah, that's basically how it's gonna work. So first of all, in this video, the one thing that I want to cover just to get things started off with is the whole decision of picking a framework. So since this series of videos is particularly about using a framework to design a website, I just thought that let me rather stick to one for now. If I do find that maybe as I go along I need to learn different ones for some particular reason, I might try out different frameworks. So what I have done so far is just sort of briefly touched on some of the videos that are available on YouTube in terms of which frameworks to choose. And one particular video that stood out for me was a video by John Papa, which basically covers the choice between different types of frameworks. And what I found interesting is that when you watch this video, he actually explains that even for people who have lots of years of experience, basically it comes down to a choice of which framework feels best for you. So in terms of what you're most comfortable using. And it seems that he recommends sort of just trying out all three, seeing which one clicks with you best, from what I picked up in the video. I will include a link below of that video, but I found it very interesting, very useful as well. And then while I was just doing my research as well, I picked up that there are a few websites that have lists about which are the best frameworks to use. So I found that pretty much just Googling and looking for the topic is actually quite helpful. There are a few websites that I found particularly useful that just stated a few pros and cons of each framework, and I'm going to include those below as well. Basically, they each just sort of provide a bit more detail on why you should use this one or that one, and I found that particularly useful for myself. But based on that information and just background and people I've spoken to previously, I decided to go with Vue. And the reason why I decided to pick that one is because I've used it recently. I've worked on a couple of projects with people who use Vue, it's relatively easy to understand compared to the alternatives. Even in a lot of the research that I did, you find that it's much simpler than some of the alternatives, such as Angular and React, from what I understand. And it seems to have the relevant features that you need to be able to build a basic website. So that's basically what I'm looking for. So pretty much the series of videos is gonna be focused on Vue, and I'll be back soon with another video just explaining like the tutorials that I'll be going through and the process that I'll be going through as well. So yeah, check that out soon.